Boggy Creekers, it's Kimmy. Welcome to our second episode of Catching Up at the Creek. We're super pumped that you've joined us today as we go beyond the gates in our inventors workshop this week. I wonder who we're talking to today as we celebrate our inventors workshop. Maybe someone that invents things. Maybe someone that fixes things. It looks like we're in an office. We're somewhere. I wonder who we're talking to today. Are you there?
Hi.
Ron! Hey, Ron!
Hi, everyone.
Oh gosh, welcome to our segment, Catching Up at the Creek. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have someone really special to our Boggy Creek family. So let's get started.
Excellent, I'm ready.
About who you are and what you do for Boggy Creek.
Oh, I'm Ron. I'm the facilities manager, and I do a combination of things that involve housekeeping and keeping the grounds managed and doing maintenance and overseeing new construction, helping with safety and building compliance.
Awesome. Ron, tell us about how long you've been a member of the Boggy Creek family.
I've been here for 12 years.
12 years!
Yeah, 12.
Well, high five to that, Ron. Oh, yeah. Ron, when you first heard about Boggy Creek, how did you hear about us?
Well, actually, I was over as a facility director at the university nearby, and we were renovating a dormitory, and we had a bunch of furniture, in this case, dressers and beds, that we were going to remove and replace. And so I looked around at places that might have interest in those, and I made communication with Camp Boggy Creek. And at the time, the camp needed some more beds, and so they came over and accepted a bunch, and I delivered some. That was my first experience, and that was in probably 98, so only about 3 years after the camp had been officially opened.
Wow. So tell us about, now that you've been a member of the Boggy Creek family for about 12 years as our facilities director, tell us, what's your favorite part about working at Camp Boggy Creek?
Oh, it's a whole host of things. I've always been a camper myself, and so I love being in the woods, in the outdoors. I love the whole sense of community that we have. And of course, the fact that I can do facilities for my career here makes it all the better. And I love our mission.
Well, so much of what you and your team do is the behind the scenes work to help us thrive as we deliver our mission, helping our camp stay safe, look beautiful, and helping our team be very prepared as we welcome all of our campers and families. So Ron, when you are looking to find some of the magic that happens as we deliver our mission, what's your favorite spot to go and look for it at?
Oh, I have several favorite spots because I love going down on the boat dock and looking out at the lake. I'm sure that's a favorite for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
I love our boardwalks, just being out in sort of the woods, looking out. But I also like things like the zipline field and being at the tower when everybody's doing that activity, or even on the rec field doing Silly Olympics.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. You can't miss us, huh, Ron?
And that's correct. Yes, lots of cheering, lots of noise.
Yeah. So Ron, I know that it's not just you. That would be a huge job. So I know you have an awesome team of people that are on your crew. Can you give a shout out to your team today?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to give a shout out to them because I have a very small team, but they work very hard. And you're right, they are behind the scenes doing all kinds of things to make sure the camp is prepared, is safe, and is sanitized, is clean and ready. So we have some housekeepers, Melina, and then Cherie and Luann. And then the maintenance side, we have Roberto, and we have Chris, and we have Steve. So a shout out to those 6 wonderful people.
Awesome. And a special shout out to all the volunteers too. I know that sometimes you take volunteers because that's a lot of grass to cut, and we'll get to that next. So, pump it up.
Yes. Yeah, we have volunteers that really help tremendously throughout the year, both as work parties as well as individuals that come to the camp.
Yeah, awesome. So Ron, let's dig into some facilities facts. As we go catching up at the creek today. I know that you keep lots of graphs and charts and you keep track of lots of things. So I know that our Camp Boggy Creek family is excited to hear the answers to some of these questions. For example, at my list here, gosh, how many acres is Camp Boggy Creek?
Oh, well, that's an easy one. That's 231 acres. Actually, 231 and a half.
241 and a half, and so we kind of round that up to 232, huh?
232, that's right. Of that land, about 56 of it is acres is in wetlands or our lakes. We have a couple of good size lakes. And of course, those wetlands are a lot of water basins that collect a lot of the drainage from stormwater. And then that leaves us about 168 of solid land, which is more like an upland pine community.
Okay.
Half of that we keep in conservation. So 84 acres is kept continuously in conservation. And of the 84 acres then that remain of land, we've developed about 30.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a breakdown. So some of the wetlands kind of near the Panther Path and kind of behind Cabin Row are two lakes that we have on property, kind of behind the theater too, those areas?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of acres to mow. So how many acres are we mowing and how many lawnmowers and like how long does it take? I mean, that's a lot, Ron.
Well, yeah. Well, during the off season, it's not nearly as bad. Fortunately, living in Florida during the off season, we don't have snow to shovel.
Phew, no snow. Yeah.
Yeah. But then during the summer, with all the rain, the grass just grows and grows and grows. Yeah. And by the time we get done, we turn around and start over at the beginning again. But it takes us somewhere between, in the off season, anywhere between like 10 hours and 20 hours.
Wow.
During the summer, yeah, it can take upwards to about 60 to 80 hours a week. Yeah, sometimes we have, of my 3 maintenance people, sometimes we'll have one on there full-time and one part-time. And certain weeks or certain days, particularly between camps, intersession, we'll have maybe all 3 people on mowers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of grass to mow there, Ron.
That is.
A lot of buildings to have to go around. So
yes.
Our camp, how many buildings do we have on our property?
Oh gosh, we've got 47 structures.
Whoa.
Yes, when you look at the 16 cabins and all of our Main Street buildings and various other buildings that are out on the property, you have 47 structures, which is about 190,000 square feet of space under air.
190, that's a lot. That's a lot. So as we kind of go into that, Ron, in each building or in our whole camp, as we think about those 47 buildings, gosh, as a huge part of what your team does in the safety of camp and all of our regulations and building codes, how many fire extinguishers do we have on our property?
Yeah, well, a lot. Specifically, 242. Because in every building, we have them near the entrances or exits, if you will, in conspicuous locations and every 75 feet. And then we have some outside in various locations as well as in all of our vehicles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Safety first. So in
Absolutely.
These buildings, we've got fire extinguishers. And then, gosh, I know in all these buildings, we also, a lot of them, well, we definitely have toilets and beds. Tell us about that, Ron.
Lots of toilets.
Lots of toilets.
Lots of toilets. Well, toilets are important.
Yes.
We actually have 208 toilets. Average home, 2, maybe 3 toilets, 208. And when we consider our occupancy, that basically creates a ratio of 2 people for every 1 toilet.
Okay, we got a 2-to-1 toilet ratio here.
2-to-1 toilet. Yeah, beds. Well, in the cabins, 256 beds. Yeah, between campers and cabin counselors. And then we have, of course, other staff and volunteers that assist. And we have our medical staff that's here. And so all total, 422 beds.
422 beds.
422 beds.
You know, this is where I want to give a shout out to all of the housekeepers out there and anybody that's come to camp that's remade their bed, because
Lots of beds.
that is a lot of beds to make.
Yeah, lots of beds to make.
Yeah, and I know that sometimes we're lucky to have bed making parties come out
Yes.
too, so pumping it up for all those bed makers out there.
Yes, absolutely. Very helpful.
Well, Ron, that's a lot of sheets, which then creates a lot of laundry. So,
Fill
us in on the laundry situation here.
Well, the housekeepers, they gather up all of the bed linens, and that includes all the towels that we use, and even towels at other locations like the pool.
Oh, right.
And they run through that laundry. During summer camp, they do probably 10 loads a day. But all total, during any given week, there's probably somewhere between 95 and 100 loads of laundry that they do. Now, when I say our loads are 95 pounds a piece.
Wow.
An average home washer does about 30 pounds.
Okay.
We're talking big machines, big commercial machines. So almost 10,000 pounds or 5 tons of laundry each week of summer camp.
Okay, I'm just making sure I heard that. So you're saying 5 tons of laundry for every typical week of summer camp.
That's correct.
Oh man, I'm never going to complain about doing my 1 load of laundry ever again.
Yeah.
Ron, I guess, okay, so we've got the square footage, we've got the cabins, we've got the buildings, we've got the beds, we've got the toilets, we've got the laundry. So that takes a lot of electricity to power our camp. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, electricity. To give you some sense, we spend roughly or consume roughly about 2 million kilowatt hours per year.
Okay.
You can find that number on your home electric bill because they'll tell you how much you actually consumed, and they measure it in kilowatt hours, and then they charge you by that rate.
Okay.
And so over the years, we've done things in order to help bring that consumption down.
Yeah.
Not to minimize the program, but things that we can do, such as building insulation, to lighting controls, better efficient air conditioning. And we've done a lot of those things over the years. And so we've actually brought that number down from roughly what was about 2 million kilowatt hours per year down to about 1.4 million kilowatt hours per year.
Awesome.
Because, save the camp money, which allows us to reinvest that money in other camp programming. Yeah.
And also it shows our campers and families and our whole community how much we're trying to conserve and care about the environment.
Yes, it not only has a financial, economic benefit for the camp, but certainly for our overall human approach to the earth.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for turning off the light switches. We can't.
That's correct. Yeah, everybody lends a hand. Absolutely.
That's right. Awesome. Well, Ron, gosh, that is, and I know that's just the tip of the iceberg of all of the fun facts that the facilities and the housekeeping team do to help us out. So, gosh, thanks for all that awesome information, Ron.
Okay, good.
So next, as we get to know you just a little bit better, so the next time we're on camp and we can see you out there on your golf cart out there, that's right. We've got some quick response questions, and this is my favorite part. Are you ready, Ron?
Okay, I think so.
Okay.
All right.
Did you do your morning aerobics this morning to get ready?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, good. Ron, tell us your very first job.
My very first job was a camp counselor at summer camp.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Made for this.
Yeah, I know. That's where I first loved or came in love with summer camp. Yeah, camping.
Awesome. Your favorite dessert?
Ice cream and cake.
Ice cream and cake. Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have several dogs.
Awesome.
Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Ron, when you were a kid, what was the pet that you wished you had?
A pig.
Love it.
A farm pig.
Farm pig. Sunrise or sunset?
Definitely sunrise.
Ron, do you have any hidden talents you want to tell us about?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I love to paint and I love to wood burn.
Wood burn. Yep. Some members of the Boggy Creek family really love to wood burn too. I know they're missing the wood shop right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Ron, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Well, as much as I'd like to say changing objects into gold,
Ooh.
money isn't everything.
True.
So I think I'd like to read people's minds.
I'm gonna keep that in mind every time I see you from now on, Ron, that you're trying to read my mind.
That's right.
Ron, now this has to do with our camp songs, and I know you come up to the dining hall to share meals with us. So, ever important, Tom the Toad or Cat Came Back?
Oh, I like Tom the Toad. Tom the Toad, all the way.
Oh gosh. Well, Ron, on behalf of the entire Camp Boggy Creek family, we just want to say thank you to you, your team, all the volunteers, and that help us keep our camp going, looking beautiful, staying safe, and very well maintained. So our buildings look pristine and our grounds do as well. So on behalf of everybody that's watching today, we just want to give you a big round of applause for all that you and your team do.
Yes, my team, absolutely.
Yeah. And we just want to thank you for staying connected with us as we go beyond the gates this summer and celebrate so many members of our Boggy Creek team, our Boggy Creek family, and everyone that's watching at home. And so until the next episode, we want to thank you for helping us celebrate during our Inventors Workshop this week. Thanks, everybody. We want to encourage you to stay safe, keep staying respected, and say it with me, Ron, keep staying loved.
Loved.
Okay, until the next time, we'll see you later, everybody.